Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. With a title like that, you know that they're not going to get conquered. It's not Black Panther, End of Wakanda, Black Panther, Wakandan Trail, Black Panther, Wakandan Trail. You know, this is the end or something like that. It's Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. So you know they're going to win. You go in thinking that. I went in thinking that. And I was expecting a lot from this movie. I like the telecon twist that they had on Atlantis. It's still kind of Atlantis, but it's not. Telecon is a actual place in an Aztec, / Mayan type mythology, and I thought it was cool that they added that because they have representation. They have a Latin representation now. I think that's kind of cool. The actor that plays Namor, I think he did a good job. He gave me Namor. I felt it from the comic books, how Namor would be. Not spitefully mean, or spitefully evil, but just a mean dude. I mean, you've got friends that are probably mean, probably not so much mean to you as they are to other people, but you know somebody, a parent, a friend, a child, a neighbor, that's a little mean. He's a little mean, but he could also bench press 6 elephants and a whale and a glass of milk. Dude's powerful. They did his origin story, which I thought was kind of cool. In the movie, I think he's a little bit older than the comic books. In the comics, he's like 175 years, which is pretty old. But in the movie, I think he's between and betwixt about 500, maybe 1,000 years old. He's old, which is probably why they think he's a god. They say that the wings on his ankles are his mutation, and he says mutant in the movie. He says, I'm a mutant in the movie. And in the comics, he's the first written mutant. There are mutants who eventually they bring up and they're older or what have you, but he's the first mutant documented on paper in a comic book that they say he's a mutant. So that's kind of cool. Not me, but other people out there in the audience, they might have teared up a little bit because there are some tearjerkers in this movie. There's some things that they wrote and they said, this is the part where the crowd's gonna cry. They might have been right about that. There's some tearjerkers in there. There's some emotional moments that are in the movie, and I kind of dig those. The people next to me were having problems keeping their tear ducts dry. But so that was good. I didn't really like the introduction of the new Black Panther. I was hoping for a particular way that they were going to write the story. I didn't get that. I got something else. What I got was good, but I was expecting something else, so it kind of blew me off a little bit. But it was still a good movie. It was a solid movie. I just didn't like. I didn't really like the way they. Well, I didn't like the person I was playing, the new Black Panther. Let me just say that. I think it should have been somebody else. But it was comic book accurate. It was comic book accurate. It just, I was hoping for a twist, and I didn't get a twist. I like the Riri storyline. I like how they introduced her and how that's going. She's going to have her own Disney Plus series soon, and I liked the introduction of her. They changed it a little bit, but I liked the introduction of Riri. She was feisty. She was smart. It was good. It was good. There was a lot of things. There were a lot of moving parts in this movie. Their favorite colonizer, as they were saying in the movie, they went and saw him, Ross. They went and saw him a few times, and apparently he was married to somebody that you will recognize from the past. He was married to somebody, and I guess they still have adult time together because she flat out said, "I'm gonna come over there and blah, 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 blah." And I was like, "Wow, that's deep." I wasn't expecting it, but from this particular actress, you're like, "Yeah, I could see her saying that." It was funny. It had some funny parts in the movie. It had a few good fight parts in the movie. Since Chadwick Boseman was not in the movie, they had to take everybody else that's in the movie and elevate their position. So a lot of other people got a lot more screen time. One thing I was thinking about, I was thinking with a character like Namor, there was going to be a lot more bam, or at least picking people up and throwing them through the air or something like that. Not a lot of it. I think he only actually punched one dude. He hit a lot of people. He flew into him and crashed into him and stuff like that. He stabbed some people, because he had a spear and everything. But I think he only legitimately was like, pow, once in the whole movie. And I mean, Captain America, Civil War, anyone in Iron Man, everybody gets punched. Superhero movie, you blast energy and you punch people. He only punched somebody like once. He was just grabbing ships and just like, wow, grabbing another ship and like, wow. Something that I did dig, when the Atlanteans attack, they've got a way that they attack. Atlanteans, or the Talconians, I guess they're called. Every time they attacked, the first thing they did was they would come out of the water, about this far out of the water. I guess some of them had to be about that far, and they would sing. It doesn't sound threatening until you think about mythology about people coming from the ocean. They sing and they hypnotize you. So they would be like, la 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 la, and singing or whatever, and people would just be like, and just walk right and just dive into the water and drown themselves. I thought that was big. That was deep, because that's like a nuclear bomb. They hit you with that, and everybody that hears it just dives into the water. How do you fight not hearing that? Because you don't know what's happening unless you hear it. You see people jumping, you're like, what's going on? And you walk out there and you're like, and then you're jumping in the water too. So that was kind of cool. Their major weapon appeared to be water bombs. I kid you not. Like, you fill it blown up with water, which, they come from the ocean, so I guess that's their thing. In the old Aquaman cartoon, he used to circle his hands and grab water, and he called it hard water, and he would smack people with it. It's basically water. They got that. They got these little bombs that they throw, and it's like, whoosh, but it's only about that big, but it contains a lot of water. They must be using Hank Pym's device, because one of those little things about this big could fill your house, would float your house down the street. It's huge amounts of water. Prepare yourself, because at this point, there's going to be a spoiler. Spoilers. There's a death, a major death. There's a major death, and there's a major birth. So brace yourself for that. Stay till they turn the lights on, man. That's what I do. I don't leave until they start sweeping the floors, because you never know what you're going to miss. There's some heavy stuff in there, and man, this was a good movie. Good tribute to Chadwick Boseman. Everybody did their thing. Nobody phoned it in. You hear about all of the problems that the movie had. The finished product was good. I don't know if the soundtrack was as good as the original, but everything can't be as good as the first one. Sometimes things are better. This one, it was good. I dug it enough. Man, it was a good, solid movie. In fact, I dug Black Panther. So I don't want to tell the whole story. You know what I mean? I do, but I shouldn't. So I'm not. Black Panther. I will give Black Panther 8 bags of popcorn, man. 8 bags of popcorn. Because that's what I think about that. More importantly, what do you think about that? Now that you had a chance to look at the video, let's talk about it in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn passport. Get your popcorn passport.